Let's start with a sequence of number like this. Well, step 1 is 6, the first term of the number pattern. See, I used and it goes like this: first term, second term, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So it goes like this: starts with 6, goes to 11, 18, 27, 38, 51. Now, if someone asks me how to write the rule, well, the first thing, possibly by now the class is well prepared to look at the differences. We have been taught how to find out the first difference. Right? So to work out the first difference, you go 11, the second term, subtract the first term. So 11 minus 6 gives you 5. Now, if you carry on, 18 minus 11 gives you 7. 27 minus 18 gives you 9. 11, 13. Not a huge problem. One of the things we figured out, the linear rule will not work. It's not going to work. So in that kind of situation, we also learned that we work out the second difference, and this is how we do it. We look at the difference column, the first difference column, which is this, and then we look at this term. 7 minus 5 gives you 2, and so on. That tells us something. When the second difference stays constant, constant means, see that? 2, 2, 2, 2 all the time. And if you carry on with the rest of the terms, it'll follow the same pattern. So the second difference is constant, and that's the reason we know the rule for the pattern will be a quadratic pattern. What? Okay. Now if we try to write down the general quadratic pattern, y equals a times x squared plus bx plus c, we got to accept the fact the quadratic pattern starts with, if you look at the pattern, x squared term, then x, and we don't see any x at all. So that's basically x to the power 0. So that's one of the things you need to remember. The quadratic pattern, the rule, the general rule is a times x squared plus b times x plus c. One of the questions I come across from the students at this stage, what are a, b, and c? Pretty valid question. These are called coefficients of x squared, x, and x to the power 0. We'll talk about that. Now, our job is to find out the value of a, b, c. One of the pretty simple thing you can remember, excuse me, is a is always equals to the second difference got to divide it by 2, half of the second difference, which is 2 divided by 2 gives you 1. So here I'm going to copy the general equation, quadratic equation, which is ax squared plus bx plus c, and we have found out a equals 1. So our part of the equation, it's not the final answer, is 1 times x squared plus bx plus c, which gives you x squared plus bx plus c. Now what we are going to do, we'll just identify these two parts of the equation. This is part 1, which is the x squared term, and this whole thing I'm going to call it part 2. We don't have to, but that's how we will probably have better understanding at least what is going on. So for the time being, I am going to ignore part 2 and I'm going to work on only part 1. That's the one. And I'm going to make another table. I call it table 2. Okay, so step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the x squared part 1 values are 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 25, 36. Now what I'm going to do, I'll copy down the original pattern, which was 6, 11, 18, 27, 38, 51. Don't get surprised, this was given to you. Step number 1 was 6, then 11, and so on. And now I'm going to find out the difference between these two. Difference between these two. So 6 minus 1. So let's call it, yeah, well, some kind of difference. Is 6 minus 1 is 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15. Now, for the time being, ignore this part of the table, and this is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a completely different sequence. Let's look at the pattern and find out the rule. So find out the first difference. 7 minus 5 is 2, 2, 2, 2. Looks like this part is a linear pattern, and the rule will be for this part 2x plus 3. See, 2 times 1 doesn't give you 5, 2 times 1 doesn't give you 5, so you got to make some adjustment that gives you 2x plus 3. So this is the second part of the equation. The first part, if you could remember, was this. So the final answer is y equals x squared plus 2x plus 3 is the rule or the answer.